It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And coming up, it's two teams who made their NFL debuts together back in 1976. Hope y'all ready for this one.
And it's coming up next.
It's known as one of the loudest stadiums in sports for a reason. And it'll only get louder as the collective 12th man starts cheering for their Seahawks. Welcome to Lumen Field in Seattle. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Ball is teed up. Chase McLaughlin to do the honors. And away we go from Lumen Field. Here's Steven Sims with the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. And they'll be led out by their QB, now in his 8th season in the NFL.
If we had asked Sam Darnold, coming out of USC as the 3rd overall pick in the draft, to write the story of his career, I don't think he would have written some of these chapters. But in the end, it makes you tougher. It makes you grittier. And playing quarterback in the NFL is a lot about that. Your ability to just withstand adversity and to continue to get up time after time after time. And Sam Darnold has shown that kind of perseverance.
First play of the drive. Here's Walker. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. up to make that play. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
This is Walker on 2nd. He's going to snag a couple of yards charging up the gut. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. They got 2 yards there, and that leaves them with 3rd down and 5.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Gets this to Fant. Keeps it moving. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Seattle! The Seahawks take a 6-0 lead right away. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. But they couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Seahawks will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. His return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here come the Buccaneers, ready for their opening drive. They are brought out by a former #1 pick who always plays with energy and passion, Baker Mayfield.
There's just certain quarterbacks, the way they run on the field. You just say their name and just some adjectives and attributes pop up right away. For Baker Mayfield, scrappy, tough, a will to win. I'm not surprised at all to see himself back in the starting role. Not surprised at all to see him flourish The dude is mentally tough, he's mentally strong, and he typically makes the most of his opportunities.
Shotgun handoff to Irving. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Putting one of the tight ends in motion right. First down, and they go right back to him. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
Once again, Irving. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. He gets 6 on that play, and that's good for a Buccaneer first down.
That's what I call a healthy return on investment. You run the toss play, looking for positive yards, looking to move the sticks, and I'm looking for that to be called again.
Mayfield on 1st and 10. Catch made by Bucky Irving. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
2nd and 3 now. Baker now off the play fake. That's complete, Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Here's the give to Irving. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
2nd down now, 7 to go. They put a receiver in motion here left. Here's 2nd and 7. Has him on the quick hitter. And they touch him down. Looks to be about 4 yards short of the sticks.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Slot man in motion left. 3rd and short, Mayfield. Buys time, rolling right. Oh, he's going to run for it. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. Irving here from the gun. Has the Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers finish off their opening drive. No doubt about that one, Brock. They softened that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reached the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Buccaneers respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Has this at the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So Seattle retakes the field for their second series. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Walker on first down. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down. They're going play action. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That pass, it did put him in a position where he had to shake a defender. That's all you want. Give me a one-on-one. And he is capable of doing it, but not against that dude. That defender could not be shook, and he knocked him back across the line.
To the air, 3rd and long. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. He's got this at the 27. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And the Buccaneers will get set to go on offense. They're set up at the 35 now. First down, here's Baker. Hauled in by Godwin. Rolling into enemy territory. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Irving on the inside give. And he works this to the 38 before going down. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Play fake. It's Mayfield. His quick throw knocked away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Baker out of the pistol. Complete beyond the marker. They get 13 on the pickup, and that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Throwing again is Baker. Looking right, and he finds him. And he's brought down for a loss.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Baker throwing again. And they can't connect on the 3rd down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got 4th down.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
The kick by McLaughlin is good. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Starting from the 5. Returns looking good so far. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. They're still in search of that first down of this game, Brock. Hoping to put together a drive and avoid calling on the punter again. The Seahawks in good field position to start this drive off as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Throwing now off play action. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. They gain 14 on the play. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
The tight end going in motion right. To throw, here's Darnold. Throwing deep towards the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle! A quick second score for him, Brock, already. And we aren't even out of this opening quarter yet.
I think I just saw that D coordinator rip up his game plan down on the sidelines. Because you got to find some new resources here. You got to dedicate more bodies, more physicality to this playmaker. Because we know in this league, when you get a guy going like this, they're going to go to him until you stop him.
Myers to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Seahawks take a 4-point lead. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. So following the return, looks like somebody's shaken up. Trainers have to determine how severe this may be. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. On the give, this is Irving. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 36. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. 14-10 our score. More from Lumen Field in just a minute. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They'll begin the quarter with 3rd and 2. Straight ahead, it's Irving. Has the 1st and more inside the 45. And he's finally hauled down at the 43. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Right back to Irving now. And this one does not go far. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They send the tight end in motion. Going with Irving here. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
3rd down. Here's Mayfield. Completed over the middle. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First and 10, it's Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Evans. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Carry here for Irving. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Now it's Irving. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Give them a yard back on the play. Now it's 3rd and 10.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll throw on 3rd and long. And they're going to take this to the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers take a second quarter lead. It's a Chris Godwin touchdown. So, Brock, good work there to finish off the drive in the end zone and retake the lead.
You just get this feeling every once in a while in games, this sucker's going to be a back-and-forth football game. So what a great job offensively to jump out in front here in the first half of play.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers push their lead to 3. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. His return starts at the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. They just witnessed maybe the most impressive drive we've seen all game, Brock, and now they get a chance to answer with one of their own. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Darnold looking to throw. The Buccaneers get there and bring him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
I'm not sure that deficit's going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, this is a defense that sees their offense creating not a ton of separation on the board, knowing they've got to shoulder the load. And sacks like that go a long ways towards doing it.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Another try following the sack. Connects with Fant. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Throwing here, Darnold. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
So another punt coming up. Michael Dixon back out there. Trey Palmer on the return for the Buccaneers. Got 46 on his first punt, and this one's pushing a little more distance. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. That punt goes 63 yards. And they're going to take over possession. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They'll run this with Irving. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Now a carry by Irving. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Short pass brought in. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Baker now from the gun. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. They manage 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Handoff headed right, Irving. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know they say it any time he comes up in an interview, but they appreciate having him on this defense so much, Kate, because of plays like that one. Those are great instincts. It takes instincts and want to come up and run support, and not many corners can make that stop.
They give it to him again. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Tackle made by Ernest Jones.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield. He's on the move. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
You get into the red zone and every detail matters. It matters on the whole 100 yards. But, Kate, once you get inside this red zone, it is so critical. And let's tip our cap to the defense on the details, creating that sack.
Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Pressure coming. Baker. Into traffic. Complete. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. On 4th down, the Buccaneers trying to put 3 on the board with Chase McLaughlin. This is a 35-yard look from the right hand. The kick by McLaughlin is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Sims now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get going once again. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now Darnold. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They got 24 yards on the play. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Cox, Cooper Kupp makes the play. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
He keeps those feet in and makes the catch.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he gets them down to the 9 before going out. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Working inside the red zone. Chased out to his right. And they take this in for the score. The Seahawks tie it just before halftime. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Myers gets the point after to go. And the Seahawks take the lead on that successful kick. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. The Bucs getting their offense out there just before halftime. And with field position and the clock against them, probably not going to see anything of substance here before halftime. Only 17 seconds left for him as they begin this drive. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And that's good for a gain of 5. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We've reached halftime from Seattle. It's the Seahawks leading in front of the home crowd. Now we'll go coast to coast. Jonathan Coachman standing by in our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, it was the veteran Sam Darnold who had the offense moving. He threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another, as his guys have the lead at halftime. This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a 1-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. Here's a return from the 7. The Buccaneers returning their offense and this running back to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the gun. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. Second down coming up.
You know, as a quarterback, you got to give your man enough space to make that catch inbounds. That was off just enough to carry him to the sideline before he could establish possession.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Motion man sent left. Throwing again is Baker. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it'll be Seahawks football. The Seahawks and Sam Darnold heading out for their next shot on offense. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Darnold. Pressure coming, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, speaking from experience here, what happens now with the 3rd sack allowed, especially on an early down like that, is that head coach and coordinator going to have a conversation. Okay, we got to fix this. Do we slide? Do we chip? Do we keep more people in? Because the one thing you can't do is keep getting your quarterback hit.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Trying again following the sack. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. On target to Valdez-Scantling. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. He'll give up the gut to Walker. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. They're going play action. That's a catch. Jackson Smith-Njigba. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Now an inside give. Oh, he loses the football. And the Buccaneers scoop it up. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is at a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
Time for us to get another look at this Tampa Bay offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. While a new offense preps to head out, we've got a stoppage. They want to make sure this is a turnover. All right, so we all know what we're looking for here, Brock. Where did an elbow, maybe a knee, something touch down? And as it does, is the ball loose at that point?
Yeah, throw in forearm, wrist, shin. There's no question the offensive guy's screaming something hit the ground while the defense is hoping it didn't.
So the review saves them a turnover. He was, in fact, already down when the ball came free. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Now Walker. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Running with Walker again. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll throw. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Here's Darnold to throw. He'll get this to Cup. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. This This throw is caught. And this is down all the way to the 3. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They motion Kump over right. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. Give him a couple on the run, and it's now 2nd and goal.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Seahawks push their lead further to start the half. Wow, Brock, hard to imagine a more effective play in their entire playbook for that particular spot right there.
You know, you get in this red zone, Kate, you want the ball in the hands of the guys you do trust the most to score. In a lot of cases, well, you trust your quarterback, and all he did was add to that trust.
Myers to add the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Seahawks grow their lead to 8. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. This return makes it up to the 25. Tampa Bay ready to head out to the field. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's the give to Irving. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Tackle made by DeMarcus Lawrence. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Putting a receiver in motion. Here's 2nd and 5. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. But ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, we're looking at a huge gain.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Throwing from the gun. He has the 1st over the middle. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. That one gains 7. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
2nd and 6 now. Looking slant route complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Here's Baker. Has him on the quick hitter. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A tight end in motion now. 2nd and 8. This one's taken in by Otten. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Motioning one of the tight ends. 3rd and short, Mayfield. Short pass brought in. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
Big play sets him up pretty here with 1st and goal from the 5. Baker throwing again. And that's a Tampa Bay touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
So the Buccaneers keeping their offense on the field. 2-point attempt coming up. Baker out of the pistol. And no connection on the 2-point try. It fails. Down 2, they went for the tie right there, partner, but a game defense able to stop them and hang on to this narrow lead.
I don't hate that call, Kate. In fact, this is one of those gray areas. If it's the 4th quarter, that's absolutely the right decision. 3rd quarter, as I said, kind of a gray area where maybe you're chasing points. Either way, you're behind, and your defense now has to rise to the occasion.
We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Sims now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
That's caught. Here's Zach Charbonnet. And he's tackled for a short gain.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Man in motion here. From the 40 on second down. Finds him over the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It's the Seahawks with it, currently with a not quite so comfortable lead. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. The give now to Walker. And he works this to the 38 before going down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, and they go right back to him. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Now he'll throw off the play fake. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Now Darnold. Connects with fate. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
First down from the red zone. To the left and pulled in by Cup. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
All set up for an insurance score here. It's 1st and goal. It's a design boot. And this is caught. It's a Seattle touchdown. The Seahawks push this to an 8-point game. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position could be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Point after try upcoming to make this a 2-score game here in the 4th. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Seahawks push the lead to 2 scores now. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. Here come the Bucs on offense now. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. We give for the first time to Rachaad White. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Baker now off the play fake. Caught for big yards on the right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
Well, that is a well-designed route right there. He really made it easy to get that pass to him. Creating space, QB receiver, deliver.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Shotgun handoff to Irving. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play. Whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Baker now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
3rd down, here's Mayfield. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
On 4th down, the Buccaneers trying to put 3 on the board with Chase McLaughlin. Ball spotted on that right hash, 53 yards out. Got all of it, and this is good! And it pulls them back within 1 score here in the 4th.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Seahawks headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. Escapes the pocket. He tucks it and takes off. They get 22 on that one. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
They send a tight end in motion. Walker on 1st down. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 48. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Off the play fake, he'll throw. He's looking deep once again. They connect on the deep shot. It's a Seattle touchdown. They're on a close game. They needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
The Seahawks offense, look at this. They aren't leaving the field, lining up and going for two. He's throwing for it. And he won't get away. They bring him down. The sack prevents them from adding another 2 more to that lead.
You spend all week on 2-point plays, trying to get to your best options, but ultimately sometimes the execution of that pass, it doesn't work.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Tucker now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Buccaneer offense back out for another series. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the gun. Finds his man. It's Godwin. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Irving on the inside give. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
1st down, here's Baker. Hits him on the out route. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
From the gun, Mayfield. Forced out to his right. He can run it. And he almost gets to the 5. He goes out at the 6. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Buccaneers now within 1 score in the 4th. Goes to show you, Brock, even when you have a play pretty well covered, those tight ends can still find a way to get you.
And I know people get tired of me and other broadcasters calling tight ends mismatches. But we'll stop calling them that when it's no longer true. And as the average tight end continues becoming more athletic by the year in this league, well, they'll only continue getting tougher and tougher to stop in coverage.
McLaughlin tacks on the extra point. And the Buccaneers trim the deficit down to 5. So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Sims now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense running out now. And this really looks like a whole different ball game after that touchdown, doesn't it? They really need to go on a drive here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake here. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And the Buccaneers scoop it up! And he will take it back. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! The Buccaneers take a 4th quarter lead. Great time to bring some extra pressure off that snap, and that made all the difference in getting that fumble and the defensive score.
I could hear it in your voice. I think you saw it coming. I saw it coming. I think even the crowd saw it coming.
Yep.
But that quarterback did not see that blitz coming, and boy, did it pay dividends.
Big moment coming up here for the Buccaneers. They're going for 2. Throwing now following the turnover. And the pressure's there. He goes down. The sack denies them the 2-point conversion. Really seemed like they were trying to get as much momentum as possible out of that series of events, didn't it? Big play like a fumble return, Brock. They wanted to add another big moment with that 2-point try.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all, even if they did fail. Kind of like a big play we see all the time, right? The offense will get right back to the line. Don't let that defense breathe. I don't mind it, even if the execution wasn't there.
Still reeling a little after fumbling that away, but they're going to get it right back with this kickoff. Sims now on the return. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Seahawks offense taking the field now. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Dumps it off to his running back. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Darnold. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody.
Yeah.
And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Looking to throw. He throws a bullet deep to their... He's got it inside the 25. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks take a 4th quarter lead. Cooper Kupp the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Back now, pressure on its way. And he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That puts them in a much better spot now. Up 7 here in the 4th. No dice the first time they tried it, but this time, Brock, the 2-point conversion is successful.
Just felt like they were waiting for the right opportunity to try it once again. Not only to make up for the first attempt, but establish a little confidence from this spot. And who knows, maybe we'll have a 2-pointer that plays a bigger role when this thing's all said and done.
Here's Tucker now on the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. This return makes it up to the 37 as he's tackled. Now the Buccaneers set to take the field. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. That's to his back. Here's Rachaad White. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve. Some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Buccaneers losing by 7. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Now here's Mayfield. This one delivered off target, Brock. That's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. To throw. Rolling left, buying some time. Oh, he's going to run for it. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of a defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that first down anyway.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Setting up to pass. Throwing the out route complete. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that picks up a 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Rick Woolen with the INT.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice. Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays. Because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
The home teams and receiver Cooper Kupp taking the field once again. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. That defensive stand might have been the final effort needed to seal away the victory, Brock, but can't quite take off the pads just yet. Offense has to finish this one out.
Yeah, a few things here, Kate, keep in mind, right? You got to slow the game down as a quarterback. Take every second off the clock. If you're handling the ball, you guard it with your life, and you make sure your defense doesn't come on the field again. They just did their job. Now you got to do yours.
Second and 6 coming up here. Staying with Walker. And not much on the run, but he does get across the 25. That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Third and 4 coming up now. Back to throw. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. So it's a win for the Seahawks. And finally, Brock, they can exhale and take a few breaths because I don't imagine any of them were breathing easy.